The Middle of the Pack Podcast. Welcome to episode 36 of the Middle of the Pack Podcast, where today's guest, Robert McNamee, will be talking about his running journey, his company BuffBarrier, where they do some anti-chafing products, and all things running. But we'll start this episode, as we do always, where we've asked Robert what's his running journey, or how did his running journey start. This is episode 36 of the Middle of the Pack Podcast.
Yeah, so I'm since I was a young lad, since I was a kid, big into running, football, Gaelic, you name it. So sports was always a big part of my life. And when I was 10 or 11, I was in the local, I was in the Salbridge Athletics Club. So I was a sprinter. I was always a bit smaller and faster. I was quick. So then I played football and soccer and getting Gaelic for up to into my 30s. I played senior Gaelic with Salbridge, and so I used to always focus on the football. But I suppose when I started to get a bit older, I wasn't able to turn on as sharp as quick.
Yeah.
So the usual story for a lot of people, I'd say. So I suppose in my 30s I gave up Gaelic, and then I was missing something. I was like, I was playing a bit of five-a-side and a bit of this and a bit of that. But then a few of my friends started to get into the running, and we signed up for the Dublin Marathon about, over 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. We started to run. So ever since that, once you have a focus like the Dublin Marathon, we just got in it, and that's 4 or 5 years now. We haven't stopped. So I've signed up for. This is going to be my 4th Dublin Marathon in a row.
But you didn't go straight from just taking up running to a marathon, did you?
I did, yeah. Within 9 months, probably, yeah. Since it was 2002, I think it was, yeah. Because I would have been, as I said, now I've ran, I've kept myself relatively fit, through my 20s and 30s. So I would have had a good strong core base, and I would have been in the gym with like strength and conditioning sort of stuff. So it wasn't starting from like a couch sort of. But no. In saying that, it literally took me that year or so to get myself going from not like 10 kilometers would have been probably the most I would have done. Like I never did a half marathon or anything like that. So it was a bit of a switch.
And your first, what kind of time did you do? Not that time really matters, but
I did in 4 hours 12.
oh, very good.
That was the first year, and last year I did it in 4:02. So it's probably middle of the pack is probably a good name for myself. But so this year I am pushing more for the 4 hour, just under the 4 hour. And again, if I don't get it, it's not. I just enjoy doing the running. I did the Mullingar half marathon there, St. Patrick's Day morning. And I done. Then I was in. A friend of mine lives out in Cyprus, so I did the Papos half marathon just about 2 weeks before that. So I'm just getting out. I just enjoy, just really enjoy. The older I got now, just the headspace and especially this time of year now with the nice fresh mornings. It's just enjoy it. And there's a group of my friends now, about 7 or 8 of us, and we're in a WhatsApp app group, and it's like that every Sunday morning now. We have a group, and then a couple of times during the week we're out, and we sort of we stick to the different plans that we're all training for the marathon, and now the Dublin City Marathon is coming up now in May, obviously. So I'm going to do that as well. So there's a few of us that are in that sort of group.
Half marathon.
Yeah. This is the one in May. Yeah.
So are you doing the halves under 2 hours now?
Yeah. So I do that half and around 1:50, about an hour 50. Yeah.
Well, my coach would tell me that's perfect then for doing the sub 4.
It is. What happens to me, I'm good to up to about 35, 37. The usual story, and then I start to lose a bit of steam over the last 5 kilometers. But I'm doing a bit more strength conditioning work now over the last 6 months. There's one of these sort of hybrid high rock sort of gyms, and it's more of a conditioning, as I said, strength. So getting it in the legs and the core. So that might help me with the last 5 kilometers this year.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
say, I mean, it's funny because, you know, all the people I interview and even people they talk to in running groups and running circles, everyone says, you know, nutrition is so important, strength and conditioning is so important, you know, getting your pre-fueling is so important. But every runner I speak to, nobody has it spot on, and everybody has a story to say, you know, that, oh, their, you know, nutrition let them down on the day or their whatever let them down, you know.
Yeah, you're right. It's very specific to the person themselves, and I think the older you get as well, I think recovery is a big thing for me as well. I notice because there's some weeks where you do sort of, well, for me anyway, I sort of push, I do too much in a short amount of time, and you don't give yourself enough rest. And I think that sometimes that sort of comes back and bites you in the backside because you know what I mean. You don't have
Yeah.
enough, and you're sort of shooting yourself in the foot with your like harder runs or longer sort of distances where you just need that little bit of time to recover. So I think I'm a bit more wary this year as well of not pushing it too much at certain times. So that's a
And
lesson.
how many days do you get out during the week?
I got about four days anyway. Yeah, yeah, and I do try to mix it up with that the strength conditioning work in the morning. I normally do a class about 6:30 in the morning. Now, last year I did get back in with the local Selbridge running club, athletics club. So they have a tailored group for the marathon and the half, and that helps the structure a bit because you know yourself. Sometimes you just go on, you just run with a group, and they have a getting more of a tailored structured plan. I think definitely helps.
So do you have a kind of an easy recovery run? Do you have a speed session in there as well?
Yeah, yeah. Speed session during the week. Normally, a Tuesday and a Thursday, I'd have a speed session, and then on the Sunday, long, slow one, and then I try to get another one in during the week as well. That's normally how I do it, you know, because as I said, like now with the better weather, I go up to the track, the legs track, and they have a session for a Tuesday and Thursday,
Yeah.
so I'll definitely. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't gone back up this year, but so busy with everything else. I will go back up now in the next week or two. But that's normally how I structure it.
So going straight from not couch as you say, but going straight from the GAA to running a marathon and getting in your long runs, is that where the idea for BuffBarrier came about? Did you need some chafing sorted?
It's basically, yeah, because when I started to do long running, I've bigger thighs. I'm not built for like the perfect long distance runner. A bit smaller, a bit more muscle, but big thighs, and especially across the chest. Like I suffer badly with chafing, and yeah, about 4 years ago, just going out long runs, and I was like, next thing I'd be dying with the chafing between the thighs and across the chest, and I'd be lashing Sudocrem on it, Vaseline, all the usual sort of stuff, and yeah, looked in Tesco, Boots, all that sort of stuff, and I couldn't really find anything. And of course, onto Amazon, I got Bodyglide, I think it was at the time, and I sort of noticed a bit of a gap in the market. There wasn't anything really there. Now there obviously there's plenty of substitutes, but I suppose the idea was when we looked at Bodyglide and all them sort of alternatives, they were all sort of synthetic ingredients and plastic packaging. And to be honest, I didn't think they were that good. Like they did the job all right for what you needed, but I just thought like surely we could make, myself and my wife Lisa, we said, sure we can make something that's better and all natural and a bit more eco friendly. So that's where the whole idea came from. And I went to my lo- local enterprise office and sort of did start your own business course. So started to develop it from there, and then we went on to Enterprise Ireland's New Frontiers program, which is a competitive sort of like competitive. You pitch and you
Yeah.
you show your plan, your sort of like what you have. So I did that in, last year and in 2000 end of 2024, and yeah, I suppose like we're over 14, 15 months now in business, and it's picking up.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously out there, because just for the listener's point of view, I was surprised to see you at Showcase, because that's where I met you first, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is more of a gift show, but you were there, which is a good place to be, because it isn't necessarily just for running shops. It's not necessarily for runners, but obviously we need it more than most, maybe.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because the local enterprise in Kildare said, would you be interested in Showcase Ireland? And of course, like I wouldn't have met yourself that day if and there was a lot of pharmacies have stocked it now in their shop from that day, Showcase Ireland. So it has opened a little bit of a more of a different sort of yeah
Market, yeah.
like market, I suppose. Yeah, because normally at the very start of it, we were like, okay, this is definitely runners, outdoor hiking sort of people, which it is. But there's definitely another market of people just going on holidays, recreational, just needed for that just suffer from chafing. And there's a lot of men and women that do email us, and they're just regular people that just
Yeah.
suffer. So it is an all round sort of problem that people do have. And so I think there's no harm in going to these places. And even if Showcase didn't work for us, at least there would be a learning, or we sort of see what works or what doesn't work. But thankfully, it was a good experience.
So you have 3 products, is that right? Or am I right with that?
3 products at the moment. Yeah, the original anti-chafing stick that we originally brought out is around this time last year, and then we brought out the anti-blister and foot relief stick, and then just there in January, just before Showcase, we brought out the anti-chafing for women, just a better sense and just a slightly different formulator than the original BuffBarrier stick. So there are 3 core products at the moment, and we are working on other products. Again, it's listening to our customers and people out there, what they need or what they want, because we are sort of conscious of, there's no point in just bringing something out for the sake of it. So it's that sort of feedback we're looking for from customers, and people are using our products.
And tell me, I never experienced, I'll openly confess now, one of my surprises to chafing. I was on holidays, and we came back, and I was going for a run. I think it was before the Dublin Marathon. I was all right for Cork. And I went for a run, and it started to rain, and suddenly I had chafing on my nipples, and I was just going, "What is this pain?" And by the time I
Yeah.
finished the run, I was going, "Oh, jeepers," I wasn't. I've seen some horror photographs of men with,
Oh yeah.
blood pouring, but that works for all that sort of thing then as well, does it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, 100%. There's a it's a barrier that protects over the skin, so it has like beeswax, shea butter, coconut oil. So that's more of a protection layer over the skin, like as your nipples or wherever the case is. And then there's like zinc oxide and other oils that will soothe the skin. So it's sort of a dual action. It protects the skin, but it also calms the skin down as well. Because we find that, to your point there, a lot of people will go for a run and then they go, "Oh, I'm suffering from chafing or skin irritation," so they already have a bit of it, and then they'll apply something. So the buff barrier has the dual action, where if you have it, a little bit of it already, it will calm it down and put the protective layer over it. So that the beeswax with the shea butter, coconut oil, zinc oxide, it's a very strong sort of like protection layer over the skin. And that was the key element that we were trying to get at the very start. From As I said, from the original idea, we wanted a really strong, like, product that would protect the skin like 4, 5, 6 hours, that you wouldn't be need, like, some products are, you need to reapply it quick enough after a number of miles, or if it gets, if it's sticky outside or wet, you'd need to sort of put more stuff on. But yeah, like, thankfully it's holding up so far. Well, that's feedback anyway, so it's good. But like, to be honest, if I didn't use my own stuff, I'd have to use something, because for me now, I after 5 kilometers, I really start to feel it, like, so.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised, because I mean, if we were speaking a year ago, I'd have said, "No, I don't suffer at all." And it was just one run I went out, and whether that then started the whole thing, and I haven't had it since the Dublin Marathon, but then I haven't really gone in for anything longer than 2 hours, so you
Yeah.
just never know. And it's better sometimes just to slap it on.
Well, that's what it is because like we were at the Dublin Marathon Expo there last October, and like we got a lot of customers like yourself. They're like, oh, we're like, are you interested in some anti-chafe? And they're like, they think about it and they go, I might as well buy it just in case because it does happen where you're better off lashing it on instead of worrying about it. Because like after 20, 30 kilometers, I mean, you never know. Like the last marathon in October in Dublin, it was a wet.
Yeah.
If you remember, a wet, windy. Wasn't a great day at all. So there are the days that you definitely, for me anyway, would need it. So yeah, it's one of those things. You sort of just have it there in case, so you don't have to worry about it then.
And the they're blister sticks as well, aren't they?
Yeah, it's an anti-blister and foot relief stick. Again, it's a dual action, so it'll have half the ingredients of the original BuffBarrier, as in beeswax and the shea butter, coconut oil, the protective layer, but also has arnica and other ingredients in it to like canjalua oil. So these are more foot specific ingredients that will calm and soothe the skin. So when you put it on, there's a slight tingle sensation in it, and there's a peppermint and eucalyptus oil in it as well. So it just gives that calm feeling. So again, if you're you're going for a hike for a full day, or even if you're working, you're standing on your feet, you're doing a marathon, like your feet are aching, but also gives that blister protection of the friction. So we got that formulated, and yeah, again, that was feedback from customers that asked, like, about the feet, even though the original anti-chafing stick will do your feet also, but this was just a more specific one. If you're really just looking for your feet, the anti-blister and foot relief is the one. But if you just want an all over body one, you don't want to be buying two products, then the original anti-chafing will if you're not worried about the relief part, you just want the blister part, then the original will do. But yeah, that's where it came from. Just feedback.
And does that work for après running then as well? As if you like is I mean, if you didn't apply it and you you end up getting chafing, is it a soother as well then?
Yeah. Well, you mean the foot stick,
Either.
or well, yeah, as well, the foot stick is more of a relief. It's a dual action. But to your question, like the arnica and the eucalyptus oils and stuff will soothe your feet. So it'll have that soothing element. The anti-chafing stick, it does have a soothing with the zinc oxide and the oils in it. It will calm the skin. So even if you went for a run this morning and you had a little bit of redness chafing on your skin, if you applied the BuffBarrier anti-chafing stick, it would actually calm it down a little bit. You'd feel the redness a bit calmer. And then you say you went out for a run tomorrow or next day, it'll probably disappear. It'd probably be gone, or more or less disappeared. Like if it wasn't too much of a rash or a chafing
I wonder,
irritation.
I don't get chafing, but definitely in the summer months across the top of my forehead from sweat, I end up getting a red rash. And I wonder whether something like your barrier might help that as well.
You could. It's the same sort of principle. It's just oh, excuse me. It's just a protection over your, on your skin. It would help, certainly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, like, there has been there's other products out there in America, I suppose in the UK as well, that they're for your face specifically, and they're more of an outdoor balm type thing where they have sun cream in it as well, sun protection. That's that's stuff that people have said to us, before. Now it's a bit, there's more regulation and compliance around it, and there's a bit of a extra step to get the compliance and certs to sell it. Like it's a bit of a bit tougher, but but again, if that's something maybe in the future we'll look at, if it's right for us, But we haven't done enough research to see if it's right. But yeah, no, it's definitely a good. It's definitely something that could be in our product line. You never know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And tell me, it's all going well,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
all going well. Yeah, yeah. It's one of these roller coasters at the start because, but from our research with Enterprise Ireland and the New Frontiers and all, like there's definitely a market there, and it's like any new brand. It takes a while to get your name out there, and people to trust that, because it's like anything, any brand. It takes time for you get the customers, their feedback, and then they go, oh yeah, I bought that before, it worked, I'll buy it again. It's that trust element. We we recently launched on Amazon Ireland there, about 6-7 weeks ago, so that's going well. It's a lot, it's one of those it's one of those places where a lot of people just, when they're shopping, they usually go on to Amazon or whatever. And as I said, like that's how I got the body glide when I was first looking for a product. And that's, yeah, it's going well for us. And then since Showcase Ireland in the RDS there in January, a lot of pharmacies have reached out to us, and a lot of people on the day bought it. So it's definitely growing, and especially coming into this, you know, April, May now, more more runs, better weather. It's definitely picking up over the last 6-7 weeks. Yeah, so we're also looking at the UK eventually now. Well, by by the summer, to move into that direction and to expand. So that's our plan. Yeah.
Are you doing a lot of expos then? Do you end up going, spending your weekends going to where the nearest marathon expo is?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're exhibiting at the Cork Marathon Expo now next month.
Very
Uh,
good.
we, we were there last year, so it was a great atmosphere, and yeah, the venue and all in the town hall is, yeah, it's a great spot. So looking forward to that now. I was in Birmingham there last week at the UK National Outdoor Expo. Now it wasn't. It was more, outdoor adventure sort of stuff. So it was interesting to see now, and I'll probably go over to the London marathon. No, I'm not exhibiting now, but I'm just going to go over and have a look. That's on in May as well. Um, and then we have a spot again in the Dublin Marathon Expo in the RDS. So then they're, they're the main ones we have at the moment. But yeah, we'll still be looking at a few other alternatives. We might even look at the pharmacy route, some of those sort of expos, and then international ones. We went to one in last November, the International Running Expo in Amsterdam. So that was like more of a B2B one, and it was really good. Now it was the first one they've had, but a lot of retailers and distributors and runners themselves, like top different athletes around Europe were at it. So they're the ones we're sort of targeting. Yeah.
I think it was after I met you in Dublin that we went to the NEC in Birmingham. They have a spring fair every year, and the national running show happened to be on at the same time. So I was then caught between, do I continue with my business side of things, or do I take a couple of hours out? But so I did. I did. I went. My wife was quite nice and let me go off. So I went off. Jeepers, it was jam packed, and everything you could have seen there was there. And yeah, have a look at that next year.
I can imagine. Yeah, no, it's the same organizers that did the national or the running expo in Amsterdam. So they did reach out to me, but I just think it was too busy. It was too close, I think, to Showcase Ireland and other expos, other stuff we were doing. But no, yeah, it looks good. So, but again, it's as a small business, it's nearly like one of those things where you need to you want to go to the mall, every single sort of thing, but you need to sort of divide and see what's on the agenda, or what's on the calendar, because you sort of can't do them all. But I think next year is definitely one to look at. All right.
And do you bring your shoes with you then and do some runs as you're traveling around the country,
But
or?
I do sometimes. I do. But I did the for the Dublin Marathon Expo. I was there for the Friday, Saturday, you know, at the stand, and then the Sunday morning I did the actual marathon. So I'm, I keep telling people that probably added couple more minutes onto my time.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
would. It's no joke. I would say standing on your feet for 2 days and then running a marathon. Like,
yeah, yeah. But no, like yeah, if I'm around the country now, I'll always have the runners and the shorts in the car as a yeah. When I was over at the Papos Cyprus half marathon there a few weeks ago, like I went over for it was more just for the crack with the lads and stuff. But I did speak to a few organisers and different retailers over there, so I got a little bit of business. But yeah, in general, I try to run wherever I can. Yeah.
yeah. So you a bit of both. So you go running sometimes, and you bring your business with you, and other times you go on your business and you bring your running with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they say like if you can find a business or something that you're interested in, it doesn't feel like work as much. Like even though, I didn't come from a products sort of like background. It came from like an operations project management sort of background, but the love for the interest in running and sports and all that sort of stuff. It's very easy for me to speak to someone like yourself or someone that's in a sports shop or anything because it's easy to talk about running or football or hiking, whatever. So it's a win-win for me,
And
in
tell
that
me,
sense.
are you still making it in your kitchen, or is it?
No, not so much in the kitchen. We actually got a room at the back, um, like more like one of these sort of showma rooms. It's a
Yeah.
big proper room. So it's like it's proper setup of facility making. Yeah, so we have all our stuff. We got to kit it out with shelves, sinks, the whole lot. And so it's a whole little manufacturing facility thing, like small, but it's compact. But so we like we have to get it tested, like the product tested and regulated and all that. And so everything's all compliant, and so we have all the white coats and the hats on, the whole lot. but but again, it's a learning experience, and we had to go through it. Like, to be fair, the local enterprise and Enterprise Ireland helped us a lot to go through them steps and to help us to see what's needed in each step of the journey, I suppose. So so now we have it up to we have it to a good standard now. Yeah.
And that's brilliant. It's still made in, well, obviously, it's obviously still made in Ireland, but that's it's great to keep that going and to have that on your
Yeah.
packaging as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the key things that we wanted something local, something that was, it's a genuine product. Everything in it, it's 100% all natural ingredients. So for us, it was again, it's mixing that running, outdoor hiking, all that with the product, and it blends in together, and it's a good sort of like it's a good way of life. And we're busy. We're so busy some weeks, but then some other weeks we can sort of take a breath and sort of do other stuff with family and all. But yeah, and it keeps like to rent a premises, and yourself, like, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. The overheads, it reduces overheads a little bit, which helps because like with ingredients and packaging and stuff, and obviously these wars and stuff that doesn't help with costs. So keeping it all in house is definitely the way to go at the moment. Yeah.
So from a running point of view, what's next for you?
Well, yeah, I have the half marathon coming up now in May, as I mentioned,
Yeah.
and I do have I'm signed up to the other half in the Phoenix Park in September, and then the full one, the full marathon, the actual marathon then in October. So I probably will get another few 10Ks, other runs. I'll sign up during the summer. But I wouldn't mind doing another one down in Galway, Kerry, somewhere Cork.
Yeah, yeah.
Now now I am exhibiting as I said, at the Cork one, but I think it's all sold out at the moment. Them races, but again, it's if you're on your feet for 2 days before an actual race, it's not good preparation. But we'll see. We might get out. but I'm open to other races. We'll see what's going on in the summer, and then you have the that's series, the Dublin, the part of the Dublin Marathon series. It's a 10 mile, 10K, all them other ones in the Gaelic Park, and I think it's the Fingal in Dublin. So we'll see what happens.
Brilliant. So if people want to find out more, how do they look you up? What's the BuffBarrier
Yeah,
handle?
yeah, we have our BuffBarrier.com. That's our main website, and then we're on Instagram. So it's just at BuffBarrier, and we're on LinkedIn as well at BuffBarrier. But and Amazon Ireland. So they're the main places where you can get us. Yeah. So we are on TikTok, but we haven't really explored TikTok as well as probably some other businesses.
Yeah,
But it's I think Instagram is probably the main platform that we use at the moment. Is Instagram. Yeah.
brilliant. I have seen you on TikTok, so I know you're there. And I also know that for the local Cork people, you are in the edge sports, aren't you?
Yeah. Damien and the lads. Yeah, it was actually I met Damien down at the Cork Marathon Expo last year,
Okay.
and that's when I got to know Damien and the lads. And yeah, I was down there then a couple of times down there in the shop, and yeah, they said they'd stock it, and yeah, I think it seems to be selling well. So yeah, I mean, we actually do get a fair few customers from Cork, to be honest, and I suppose like through our own websites, through orders, we get a few repeat customers. So yeah, so we've a small following in Cork. So
Oh, that's
but,
good.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
time is running out, so it's been a pleasure, and thank you so much for coming on. And I wish you the best of luck with everything.
yeah. Thanks very much.
Yeah, it's been good, and it's nice to have it's nice when you're talking about having had the experience that caused you to have the business. Therefore, you know that it's going to be a sound enough business, and being made in
Yeah,
Ireland, being an Irish company is just fabulous as well. So, yeah, thanks
yeah.
very much.
Yeah, and thanks for the invite. Yeah, no, it's great getting on like a Irish podcast. It's always it's really good. Yeah, so no, appreciate it, and yeah, sure, I might see you down in Cork next month. You never
Yeah,
know.
for sure. And that's Robert McNamee from BuffBarrier, and a great Irish company. And I'm sure lots of us will need it on the build up to all the marathons that we're enduring, or we will be enduring. So thanks to Robert for coming on. Hope you've enjoyed episode 36 of the Middle of the Pack podcast. So for this week, thanks for listening, and keep on running.